Hello friends, Natalie here from Tending Your Spirit, and I wanted to share this video to talk a little bit about my own story because I've have a lot of stories to share, but in particular I wanted to share about why I love ancestral healing so much. So back in my 20s, I started to realize there were repetitive patterns that were happening in my life. And I was the common denominator. And I started to realize, like, okay, this is something that's happening enough that I'm realizing a pattern. And I'm, like I said, the common denominator here. So to change anything, and the only power that I have in that is to change myself. And so I was like, okay, I have to take a step back and look at what within me, what beliefs are there, or ways of being, like what's happening for me that's creating this dynamic. Because even back in my 20s, I knew I wasn't a victim of these things that were happening. I was playing a role, playing a part in it. So I was like, okay, I need to take a step back and look at this. And then I zoomed out a bit more, and then I realized, like, oh, these are some patterns that actually are happening in my ancestry, like my family, my, not just my nuclear family, but even like zoom out even further, aunts, uncles, cousins, and looking in both my lineages of, like, oh, there's actually some patterns here that I'm noticing that's happening in my personal life. But if I zoom back enough, I can see that these are happening in my family as well. Like, oh, that's interesting. Like, I wonder what happened maybe back generations ago that caused this to be something that's happening ancestrally. And so I didn't have the answers for it, but I did have the questions. And so then that's what led me into, seeking out those answers, because I very much feel that we have, at that time, a lot of people were talking about epigenetics, and I was like, okay, trauma passes down in the genes, okay, but I also feel like a lot more passes down in the genes besides trauma. And so then I feel always like once we have awareness about something, then we can have the power to choose differently. So I'm going to pause this video now, and I'm going to make up part